All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video we're going to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis and some new material that he just dropped, in which he is doing something absolutely crazy, and he also blasts Devin Haney and George Kambosos and lets him know what he thinks the deal is. Let's talk about that in this video. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Let's do this again. Welcome back to the channel, subscribers, longtime subscribers, new subscribers. If you are not a subscriber, please accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Make sure you hit all notifications so that you get all of them. Also, if you wager on sports, make sure you check us out over at BUSR at busr.ag/Fanon. We will be giving away $1,000 for people that register under that code after the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence versus Yordenis Ugas fight. So make sure you guys go over there, register, so you guys can take advantage of that opportunity if you wager. If you do not wager, I understand that. Don't mean to offend you. They're sponsoring the video, so check us out over there. All right, man. I am getting amped about this lightweight division. We are in the month of April, and we are now starting to move closer and closer to some really fun fights happening. One fight is really big. Another fight is just, I think, is going to be real fun. But boxing is starting to pick up I think it's going to really start picking up in the second week of April, provided nothing happens to people. They don't get injured or have to pull out of fights, which honestly has been a little bit of a plague in boxing recently. But Gervonta Tank Davis, who will be fighting ROMERO, just released this promotional trailer for the fight. And dude is one of the reasons, man, looking at this dude is one of the reasons I like Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis is out there working out, showing what a tremendous athlete he is. You know, they showed the little highlights of him, you know, running up these stairs, you know, jetting up some stairs, the same set of stairs that I saw him running up several years ago, right, when he was first getting on and people were really starting to push him. But in the end of the video, man, the dude, Calvin Ford, gives this dude some gunpowder and says, man, eat this gunpowder. And Gervonta Davis eats the gunpowder. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you know, that is really interesting stuff, man, because clearly what he's saying is, man, I got a lot of dog in me. Because my understanding is that, you know, at least from the rap songs, I don't really know the dog fighting world very much. Just reminded me of the Biggie Smalls song where he said, you know, he's got Rottweilers by the door and you feed them gunpowder so they will devour the criminals trying to drop my decimals, right? That particular line, right? So I'm like, all right, man, this dude is eating gunpowder. This dude is a dog eating gunpowder so he can devour the criminals trying to drop his decimals. I was like, all right, man, I like that. I like the fact that this dude that Gervonta Davis, you know, doesn't talk a lot, man, but also the most thing that I've been liking about him recently is that he has been staying in shape. Looks like he's been staying in shape year round. That, you know, what he was doing earlier on in his career where he would be blowing up in weight and all that is not happening anymore. If you go back and you look at some of the pictures of Gervonta Davis in between fights, maybe about, you know, definitely when he was at 130 pounds, you know, people would joke that he turned around and looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy, or, you know, those lemon head candies, right? Because he would just swell so much up in weight, you know, and he missed weight one time, actually lost his belt on the scale against, I think it was Fundora is 154 pounds. Francisco Fonseca, I do believe. And that was when he was the co-main event for the Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Conor McGregor fight. He missed weight for that. He also had missed weight, I think, in a fight right after that. He came close to missing weight, but he got it on as like the second attempt against Liam Smith in the UK. And then another time just recently, I think that he also missed weight, but then he had to come back a couple hours and make weight. So it seems like he's got all that under control. Seems like his training and all that is really going. But he also, you know, has been very direct in the media about, well, not tremendously direct, but he also put out a tweet like that said something to the effect of, man, y'all can stop playing. because I'm the man, right? At lightweight. And I like that attitude for him. I'm just really hoping that he's able to, whatever he does with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and that issue with his contract results in him being able to get the winner of George Kambosos and Devin Haney, whoever that is. And I do believe that it's probably going to be Devin Haney. I know Devin Haney would have to, in order for that fight to happen, for Gervonta Davis would have to, Devin Haney would have to beat Kambosos, then he would have to beat Kambosos again, and then I think he also would then have to fight Vasily Lomachenko, or he would have the option to fight Vasily Lomachenko, which really does push that out. What is that? June. We're talking about a fight that would not take place for Gervonta Davis until the end of next year. I don't really know if Devin Haney gets through all of that. I don't know if Devin Haney is going to even be in the weight class, or whether or not he would go up to 140 if he can get through that. Of course, George can go in to fight George Kambosos in Australia. That is going to be not a difficult task. That's not going to be an easy task for him to get that decision. If it was a fight that was going to be just, in a neutral location, I would say, all right, man, that's going to be a 12-0, probably a unanimous decision, or at the very most a split decision for Devin Haney in that fight, because I just think he's a lot better fighter, or is going to be able to keep George Kambosos at the end of his jab and then try to walk him into and set him up for shots. Not to say that George Kambosos isn't a good fighter, but he would have to go through a lot to get that. But Gervonta Davis, now I did a poll on my channel, right? Now, granted, polls they're not scientific studies, right? However, we got over 8,000 voters that voted on the poll, and over 60% of them said that they believe that Gervonta Davis was the best guy in that division. I am certain that no matter what happens with Devin Haney and Devin Haney, George Kambosos, and Vasily Lomachenko, that the biggest fight that there is going to be whoever gets through that versus Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that's why Gervonta is saying, look, man, you guys can stop playing. I run this, and you guys are going to have to go through me, because I think that's going to be the case with the belts or without the belts, that those guys are going to have to go through Gervonta Tank Davis for them to legitimately be considered the best guy in the division. Now, that's not taking anything away from them becoming undisputed and having all the belts, and Gervonta Davis having a secondary belt. At the same time, though, when you look at the pound for pound list, ESPN's pound for pound list, only current active lightweight, if you don't consider Vasily Lomachenko to be active, because what's going on with him and his what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, the only guy that's on that top 10 is Gervonta Tank Davis. So Gervonta Tank Davis, at least in the mainstream media's eye, is the most developed and the best fighter in that division. I know ESPN is journalist, and I get on that all the time, but you get my point. Gervonta Davis, because of his popularity, because of the fact that he is, no matter what anybody wants to say, a proven, very, very skilled fighter that is very, very dangerous, all of that stuff is going to come through to him. And I'm just really, really excited about the fact that the dude seems so dialed in and so focused, right, for his fights. But I'm not really excited about the Rolly Romero fight. I think Rolly Romero has a puncher's chance, but that's about it, man. But anyway, that's the conversation I wanted to have this morning with you on this boxing tip. So make sure you leave your comments in the comment section. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And with that, I'm out. Peace.